Well, hello there, YouTube. This is Charlie Brawley back at you with another video. As I promised, I had a new strategy that if you want to take advantage of, feel free to email me. I do not have it posted on the channel, unfortunately, yet, so you're going to have to email me. But let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and make my bet. Now, basically, this strategy has everything to do with the columns here. You can bet higher. Some of these do take some progressions, but as you're going to see here, they're, I'm not going to say few and far in between, but for the most part, we win. So here's just to give you an example of how this works, and basically, honestly, you could even do, once you understand how the column thing works, you can actually play on the inside. So I kind of do this according to the numbers, not necessarily the color. That's one thing that you'll learn, but so right now, what I'm going to do now is skip this one, and I'm not going to play this one, and we'll see what happens next. But it's not a coincidence that I won on the first rip here. But let's just continue to write it out and see what's going to happen. Now, if you hear some raining in the background, it's because it's actually really late here in Las Vegas. And it's not that it's raining. It's just that I have on YouTube, I have this, good thing that I waited, right? I have this sleep, it's a 10-hour sleep video, and it just does nothing but rain. And it's really soothing, it's really relaxing. And so sometimes I'll just have that on and I'll sit and I'll think, right? So anyway, so right now when that zero hits, what I'm now going to do is wait for a new number. I'm basing some of this on the past history too. No, that doesn't really tell you anything, but I am, and so once you learn it, you'll see kind of what I'm talking about. But one of the things I often talk about while we're waiting for results is the art of being patient. The more patient you are, the better the game is going to be. You can literally be patient enough to wait for certain numbers to appear. Like you can be patient, and so we're gonna go here now. Just be patient, and things generally work out when you are patient. And so we're gonna look and see how one thing I'm gonna be interested in, because I rarely see progressions go that far. Technically, we could just play for more money. How about that? The progressions too, you should be covering the zero, so I'm not covering it, especially when you're betting this way. You certainly want to cover your zeros, even if it's not for the exact same amount that you'll get here, even if it's for half. So, if it's $5, maybe put put something on it. All right, so we won right there. Predictable win. So I'm going to wait again. The key also to this too is, when you're playing it, is to just be patient and take your winnings and leave. What I'm going to try and do is, when we're going to try and get up to I'm going to be playing $5 units, so it shouldn't take too long. We get up to about $20, and then we'll be done. But this game, I tell you, and I'm kind of back to some live demonstrations, because Live Roulette Ireland is by the way, guys, I've had two people say, at least two of my students now, who, one of the things I teach is consistency. You have to be consistent, and that would have been a good win. We should have played that. But that I didn't have a good. There's a things called indicators, right? And you'll learn this. You know, if you get the strategy, I talk to you about it. But live roulette Ireland or liveroulette.ie. I've had a couple students say that they did not get their money. Like one of them built his account up to about $3,300, and they said his account was flagged for investigation because he did it too consistently, and it was a steady climb. And it was all on the outside bets, and so they were flagging his account as if he had some kind of software. It's not a software, people. It's actual. It's using your brain. Okay, so we should go back here again. So, like even on the zero, so maybe cover it with something. Something's better than nothing, because if it does hit that, at least you don't lose everything here, especially when you start to get up into higher progressions. Like I was saying before, when you learn it, I can show you how to further hedge your bets by playing on the inside, because you make more on the inside. It's slightly risk averse because you make more money on the inside, but it could be a longer game. So you're going to have to pick and choose which one you're going to do. You're going to play it for the money, or is it going to either, I mean, you're playing it for the money, but you got to consider the time. So it's not the fact that you can't lose, it's how much time does it take, all right? All right, so we're at $12 and 30. All right, so we're gonna go here now. But be careful, because again, this is the second guy who said that, and and I know Roulette Ireland says, hey, you know, you're welcome here, put your money here, blah blah blah, until you're consistent. So one of the things you're gonna have to do, particularly if you're consistent students, I'm going to talk about consistency, because here's a good thing. These videos are good because while I wait, I can actually talk. You listen to this. All right. So if you're going to put your money, if you're concerned about what they're doing with this kind of stuff, which you should be, consistency, the thing is that when you're being consistently winning, you're going to have to start hedging your winnings and start playing in other places, pretty much. All right. And number 29 wins. All right. So we're going to wait here. Not going to play this one. And then maybe we'll see what happens. But just be careful, guys. Be careful. But again, I could have made more money playing on the inside, and the way I would do that, instead of putting my money here, I will place certain numbers just within this here. Now, the only reason I know why, like the reason you've seen me win consistently like that, is because it's an algorithm. The only thing I do is just continue to teach you guys or show you guys these examples. And this is something that you can do every day. But here's the thing. You can't do it all day. So it's like once you've made a small profit, the best thing to do is to just leave. All right, so here's a 7 in that row. We're going to go back here. And that should bring us probably to our goal if we win. Because it hit in this column here, we may see maybe 2 or 3 progressions. We'll see. Sometimes you get lucky, you win on the first one based on how this is moving. For students who are learning the flat bet, honestly, guys, when you study, no one taught me this. This was just because I studied the game. But when and I've teach you guys how to look at it. So when you see it enough, it's almost predictable. See what I'm talking about? So it's okay, so we have to do this again. Normally I wouldn't double the bet right there because you don't even really have to double it. but I'm just going to, at this point, I think this is going to be a 4 progression. The thing about progressions, there's nothing wrong with progression. There's something wrong with lack of discipline and understanding the thresholds. I was talking about the concept of thresholds in a previous video, and you got to know where the how long the game can run against you, because it can. When I saw this 7 hit, because there's a video, I'm going to go through it. Most times, because of what I saw and what I know, I probably will wait. That's the reason I told you in the beginning it might be a 3 or 4 progression right here. Well, it wasn't. All right. So, guys, listen. This is just for kicks' sake. 331. I'm gonna do. Oh, it's all over. All right, so let's do this one. All right, and it should probably be no more than a 3 progression here too. But the thing of it is that when you win, you're gonna have to get some type of self-control and get up off the table. Come back tomorrow and do it again. The concept of thresholds means, when the game has gone, like I teach this in the numbers game, when it has produced a cycle of play that prohibited you from winning, whatever that sequence was, it's not going to continue. Okay? But your patience, and the thing about patience, you don't lose any money for being patient. All right? Interesting. Which I felt that would be the case anyway. All right.
Game open. Place your bets.
Let's do this. And again, I'm only kind of playing this aggressively because, and I probably shouldn't play this aggressively right now because of what's just recently happened. We certainly are probably going to get into some progressions. So this is actually good just to show you guys that progressions, they're necessary because of time. Now, if I were playing on the inside, it will cost me less, but it will cost me more time. Okay, so you have to pick and choose your battle. Is it the time battle? You have to pick and choose your battles. And so because of the video thing, I'm just going to choose it this way. All right, so I felt this would be the case. 33, 24. We're actually still in a good position, so I'm just going to do something like that. Team play, while I'm even thinking about this, team play, you can learn to do this with teams. And you can, and that's another thing. When I come out, this is not I recently did a video talking about a strategy that you can use that's 100% guaranteed, the numbers, blah, blah, blah. Well, this is not that strategy, except this is good, but it's just dealing in columns. I was just up late, and this is something I'd been kind of studying for a while and thought I needed to do more strategies, because as you know, I'm kind of getting out of the mentor thing, and it's not that the stuff doesn't work. It's just that, and it's not that people are bad. So basically, we just pretty much won $50. So let me just say this real quick, guys. Be careful playing roulette, Ireland, i.e., because consistent winning often creates flags. The way to reduce that type of problem is to segment where you play. Okay, segment where you play and take your winnings and leave. All right. So when you understand how to do this, like I could have done this, like I could have did it on the inside. But what I will do is, once I've won and hit my goal, I actually went double the goal. But once I've won, I get my money and then I leave. But you got to know and understand the game, right? So this strategy is available. This one is it's going to be $300. I will teach you thoroughly how to do it. I will teach you even the longer way to play it and hedge it on the inside. I was saying before is that one of the things is I'm getting out of the program is because it's just about the consistency thing. So I'd much rather give you guys more and more good strategy plays that you can use, and you can go in and out of different strategies once you learn and practice and understand strategies, and you're disciplined enough with your money and with your time, and you don't overextend yourself. You can make a great living off this. You just can't. The greed factor, you got to get over that part. As I always say, most people win and most people go to the casinos and they win. The reason that they end up losing is because they just stay too damn long, and often can't help themselves. So again, guys, hopefully you guys are having a good start to the new year. Just wanted to bring you guys a little, just a little tutorial about this new. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. I don't have a good name for it. But if you would like to learn to do this, I can certainly teach you that, and it will be in a video format. And it is $300. It works very, very well. But it can, if you don't practice and understand the thresholds, it can take you. The only reason, but that's the point of studying it, because I will show you and have you understand why I was able to make these predictions in these columns like I did. All right. It's a certain thing the game does, and I just happened to literally catch it right when he was doing it. All right. So anyway, guys, send me an email, permutationspro@gmail.com. I do not have this on the site, so if you want it, you're going to have to send me an email. I do have other strategies on the site. I'm coming up with some new stuff this year, and so some new strategies that you guys could check out, you can use, and for your pleasure. Okay, so here is something interesting. Let me see how long this goes. I just want to see how long it's going to take me, because right now I'm seeing and I'm just wanting to show you that the game can go into maybe 3 or 4 progressions, of which you just need to wait, right? So the 26 and 22 black that came up is, well, I can't say it without telling him, but this might run into a 5 progression. Let's just see what it does. So I'm going to play a little lower here. But once you learn it, guys, it's really, really cool. And again, you just take your money and you leave. That's just it. And the more patient you are, the better it is. Can't tell you that enough. So when you have strategies, good ones at least, wherever you're getting them from, if you're impatient, just be honest with yourself, okay? If you don't have discipline, you've got to get honest with yourself, all right? If you don't study, you've got to get honest with yourself, all right? So it's not about whether you're winning or you can consistently beat the brakes off the game. It's just that you can't beat yourself at it, which is oftentimes some of our biggest problems, is that we end up beating ourselves, and you got to get away from that. But I'm interested to see how long this is going to go. Yeah, this might move. This might be a long one. So I'm going to see here. All right, so I'm going to play. I would play on the inside, but just to keep it kind of safe, I'm going to do a little $2, put a penny. It's not worth anything, but put a penny there. But if you're playing like if you go to Las Vegas, I keep telling people, man, there's really not a reason. I don't understand. It's not a reason for you, if particularly if you live in the United States and can get to Vegas, for you to not make a career here. There are machines, there are games in Vegas where they are 25-cent minimums and $1,000 maximums. One thing even the airball machine can't do, it can't produce the same results over and over. It can't do it. It's impossible for it to do it, actually. So, there we go. All right, guys, I'm not continuing to hold this. So we're at a 1050. But the airball machines in Vegas, they can't continue to run the same kind gosh, I want to play this longer because the way these numbers are moving, and the patterns are moving, it's about to hit a long progression. Now, of course, you don't want to play into it, but the way I like to practice by forcing the game into thresholds, just to see what happens. If you are a business owner, there's this thing called R&D, research and development, that costs money. It costs money to research new programs, new products, new services to see which works best for your customers in your future. You should take money and do the exact same thing. Of course, you play it low, but you got to do research and development. When you get strategies, spend some time. Number one, study without the money. But then when you start to play at at the lowest value as you can and as most patience as you can, just doing research and development. All right. I take this like it's a business to me. I know it's gambling, quote unquote, but because it's all based in variables and numbers and patterns that repeat, there's no other choice but to take it serious, because I've done stocks, I've done business, I've done all of that stuff, most of which I cannot calculate those variables that create the outcomes. I can't, not this fast. And this is the only thing I know to do it. So it just happens to be at a casino. Anyway, I'm not going to continue to talk you guys' heads off. But this strategy is available. Like I said, you have to send me an email for it. I don't have a name for it. I'll think of a clever name one day. But what I'm going to do is just do a few more videos in the future showing you how this process works. And I don't know what to call it. Just say the column strategy. All right. It's now I do have some column strategies on the website, but this one is a little different because it's dealing with these ones, the linear. I don't know what you call these, the rows or whatever. But anyway, guys, best of luck to you guys. And if you have any questions, again, send me an email, permutationspro@gmail.com, or you can visit the website for anything that I have there at permutations.com. Continue to watch the website for more live training and tutorials and interviews and stuff like that. All right, guys, until the next time, take care.